It was crazy. I was sitting there while you were still talking, and I thought, she's going to pick me on the next one. So I heard that.
Well, what happens, we don't see you in your physicalness. It's your energy that we see. So when you have something you want to talk about and you're in a place of strong expectation, you light up in a unique way. So your desire and expectation made you
light up.
Yeah.
I'm a very positive person, and a lot of that comes from Abraham's teachings and learning about how momentum works. But my partner just leans more towards the negative. And my question is, how do you lead someone? Because you can't just tell someone to be positive. You can't tell him, listen to this, listen to this.
Words don't teach it all, do they?
No, so how do I lead him?
Make a sign. Make a sign. When we talked about that path of least resistance, and where does that path lead?
Whatever feels good for you.
But where is it actually leading? What's the path? Where's it leading? It's leading to your resonance, to your calibration with your source energy. It's you completing yourself in this moment to the fullness of all that you are. Oh, that's powerful influence. So when you are noticing something that you don't like and you're finding fault with it, like the trumpet's out of tune, so to speak, then that's a pinching off. When you're thinking about what you want, now you're back in sync with who you are, and then you're inspired to whatever you might do to move that along. We're asking all of you this question, but let's talk about this for just a little bit. And answer these questions quickly if you can. Don't give it too much thought. Just sort of jump in to the momentum or the feeling that is the strongest within you. So you already gave your partner the label as leaning more negative. But here are some questions. Are there a whole lot of things that you really like about this person?
Yes.
Yeah, there are a whole lot of things that you really like. Do you feel like it was a mistake? Did law of attraction make a mistake in bringing you together?
No.
Are you a match to this person on both the things that lean positive and the things that lean negative? Wait for it.
Can you say that again?
Are you a vibrational match with this person on the things that lean negative and on the things that lean positive? Are you a match to both?
Yes, but I focus on the positive and he focuses on the negative. But
So-
I can resonate. When he speaks about the negative, I can resonate.
But slow down just a little bit and let's think about this. So is there any possibility that because of what you've already lived together, that you are a bit expectant of him leaning negative?
Yeah, the momentum.
And therefore
probably.
you're leaning negative about him, and therefore when it happens, you are part of the creative match.
Like I perpetuate it by expecting it.
Oh, more than perpetuate it. You meet there. You meet there. Because for most people, you think somebody needs to be different for your expectation to change. But it's hard to influence something different when you're matching. You sort of getting that? It's easy to hear, isn't it, when you're not in the hot seat? So everything that happens moment by moment is a match. And so we don't want you to lose your mind over it and be worried about what you're matched to. But if when you get a chance and you're on your own, you are looking for the easy existing matches, here's our promise to you. We started out years ago with a book of positive aspects. And these days, we're calling it easy existing matches, because in the book of positive aspects, people were really knowing that they don't like that quality or that trait or that experience in someone. And so then they were pivoting and saying, what I want is this. And so then they were using words or lip service, but they weren't feeling it. And so then they'd get frustrated because they were speaking positive aspects, but they weren't getting any. So it made them feel like something was wrong with Abraham's theory, or they just weren't doing it right. When we began saying, just find a match that already feels good. What is the existing match matching? When we ask you to look for an easy existing match, we mean something that comes to your mind easily and that it matches feeling good. It's something you really know you're leaning positive when you find it. So as you look for easy, already existing. You don't need to change for me. These existing matches already exist. What happens is that becomes your shared experience more often. Therefore, that becomes the way the momentum flows more often. Therefore, that's the way you both begin leaning that way more often. You see how it works? Mm-hmm. When you say, I'm not going to do that anymore, don't you find yourself thinking about that all day long? When you try to use willpower to keep yourself from doing something that you're vibrationally attracting, you're in deep doo-doo. Because there's not enough action in the world to compensate for the vibration that you got going. So what this conversation is really about is a lot of people do not understand their own momentum. But you know how you can come to understand it? You started out with your question, just like this. Your mood or attitude. What's your usual mood? That's how you trend. What's your usual attitude or mood? That's how you trend. And so you're saying, well, my trend is one thing and his trend is another. And we say, yeah, except when we're thinking about him and his trend. Then you trend with him. Then you're a match to him. So let's say he's leaning negative, just for fun. Let's say he's leaning negative. And you say, I see how that went. I was leaning positive, and then you leaned negative just like I thought you were going to. And then the momentum just took over. So I'm going to do my best to hold my own positive thought. Now, that's hitting it way too head on. That's too much conversation. That's not his bandwidth. He will not hear those words. That's wasted breath. Don't do that. Don't say that. Just do that. Get out ahead of it. So here's this person, and there are wonderful, wonderful things about, and not wonderful, wonderful things about. You find easy existing matches. What does that mean? You find the things that are easy to think about regarding that person that feel good. Don't do it for the other person. Do it for yourself. Don't do it to change the other person. Do it to substantiate, to affirm your point of attraction. When Esther first started understanding the law of attraction thing that we talked about incessantly right from the day we met her in this way, when something wonderful would happen, she would say, I did that. And then it wasn't long before when something not so good happened, she'd say, I did that too. And now we encourage her to connect the dots no matter what happens. Connect the dots, meaning I was feeling that way and I got this. Therefore, I can see that nothing outside of me created this. This is my creation. And then we'd like it, in light of what we've been talking about here today, moving forward as we have as a group. I did that. I did that. I created this unwanted thing. I'm glad I have the license to do that, since words don't teach. I'm glad I was able to flesh that vibration out and see the result that it brought. I'm glad I was able to, since I didn't see down the path ahead of time, I was able to live it out in manifestational form and then retrospectively understand how I got there. Start owning what you've got, no matter what it is, and that will empower you then to get more of what you want and fewer experiences that you don't want. Because when you think about it, stay with us, this matters. Let's say you leaned the other way. Let's say that it bugged you so much, some of the things that the other is leaning toward, that you just gave in and leaned there too and complained about it. And leaned there too. Focused on unwanted, 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 unwanted. Well, one of two things will happen. You either create a relationship that neither one of you want, or you'll go separate ways. So here's a sort of drum roll that you could apply to this conversation. You can focus on unwanted, or the relationship can just go away altogether. And when you put it in that stark terms, you don't want that relationship to go away altogether, just the parts you don't want. But you can't say to somebody, I like this and this and this about you, but I don't like this and this and this about you. So bring to me the things that I like and don't bring to me the things I don't like. You see how that's working out in the world? That never works out, because there's no such thing as no in a universe that is attraction-based. There's only yes. So when you look at what you don't want, you get it. When you look at what you do want, you get it. When you really get adamant about what you don't want, you get more of it. When you really get focused on what you do want, you get more of it. In other words, you are in control of what comes to you because you've lived enough life to ask for way good things. And your inner being knows what all those way good things are. Your inner being knows how you feel about everything that you've ever lived and what your preference is about everything that you've lived. And your inner being is doing everything in its power, which is a whole lot. Focus, source energy, focused upon your preferred desires about everything. And all you got to do is just feel good and be there and get that. That's why our friend wants you to think more like a whale. Just let it be rather than trying to think it into being. Is any of this making sense to any of you? Are you mad at us that we've been teaching you deliberate creation for all these years and now we're just asking you to feel your way to it? We're asking you to focus your feeling and watch what happens. Because friends, without exception, in this room, you have done step 1 admirably. If you could see the contents of your vortex as we do, you would like yourself so very, very much, but that's conditional. We liked you before you did it. A little more goofing off. A little more loving yourself anyway. A little less taking score. Good?
Yes, definitely.
Really
Thank
good.
you.
Yeah, really good.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.